Welcome to Crossroads. Blackmail is allegedly a serious problem in Washington, and elected officials, well, they're being baited, apparently, into compromising situations which are then used to influence them, and including influencing the policies that control, of course, this country. Now, this is according to claims coming out of Washington right now by several individuals, and these claims also notably echo some concerns raised over the issue of honey traps by, regimes like the Chinese Communist Party, Russia, they're all being noted, and actually many others as well. Now, look, a recent undercover video from investigative journalist James O'Keefe restarted very recently some of the public discussions over blackmail in Washington and what it means. Now, like, he spoke with a Capitol Hill intern who claimed that he's aware of underground, sex parties in Washington tied to a system used to blackmail elected officials. And of course, this is raising some concerns over, are these groups targeting elected officials or with other countries? And what are these scandals that are then being used to control them through blackmail? Watch.
There's a lot of things that I do here, and there's a lot of things that I see with my own eyes. Madison Cawthorn one line neither. That man in a wheelchair, that video that came out with the guy in the Senate office building in the hearing room.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The guy was blackmailed.
He was blackmailed?
Pretty much.
Whoa.
So most members, they actually have spouses, so they're married. They have affairs with other council people, Congress people, Congress members in office. And they have like parties and stuff.
Like you're talking about sex parties?
Yeah, they
Whoa.
want to talk a lot.
So these parties are like, it gets hot and heavy.
Yeah, it's like an in-house thing. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But 9 out of 10 times, everybody in there knows.
Now, after this, focus has shifted mainly to Representative Madison Cawthorn. You might remember him. He was hit with scandals that ruined his reputation and his political career. And you might remember that shortly after Madison Cawthorn made claims publicly, a nude photo of him or video of him was released, and he claimed this was a form of punishment. And why? Because he had told the public that there were cocaine sex parties among elected representatives in Washington. This was in 2022. Washington Examiner said this recently. Representative Madison Cawthorn said he was just acting foolish and joking with a friend in response to a video that he characterized as the latest hit piece meant to destroy his political career. The 26-year-old congressman, who has been ensnared in a string of controversies in recent weeks, again this was 2022, released a statement Wednesday appearing to confirm the authenticity of a short clip showing him naked in bed atop another man, getting physical and making noises. And he said this: "A new hit against me just dropped. Years ago, in this video, I was being crass with a friend, trying to be funny. We were acting foolish and joking. That's it. I'm not backing down. I told you there would be a drip, drip campaign," he said in a tweet. And then he added further in, "Blackmail won't win, we will." Now, after all of this, it says a little more than a month ago, Cawthorn drew headlines for claiming, all this of course came out after this, because he claimed that colleagues in Congress were doing cocaine and inviting him to orgies. Now, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy met with Cawthorn, after which McCarthy told Axios that Cawthorn admitted to him that he had exaggerated such suggestions. And given, of course, the attacks on Cawthorn afterwards, a lot of people are now questioning, were they really exaggerated? Now, it notes that at the time, officials of the Transportation Security Administration reportedly confiscated a gun from Cawthorn, and what would be the second time Cawthorn had been caught trying to bring a gun through an airport since being elected to Congress. Cawthorn also faced scrutiny for his use of taxpayer money at a luxury resort, and questions about whether he violated insider trading laws. Don't they all, by the way? Last week, an ethics group filed a complaint against him that alleges he had an inappropriate relationship with one of his staffers. In other words, Madison Cawthorn came out and said, hey, there are cocaine sex parties in Washington. All the elected officials are joining it and they're trying to get him to join it. What happens after he says that? He's invited to these private meetings. He's forced to say that he exaggerated it. And then all these different attacks come out and destroy his political career. Now, after all of this, smoke is cleared, Cawthorn is coming out again. And he gave an interview recently where he was able to comment on some of the recent very odd stories right now coming out of Washington because people are noting maybe he was right. Gateway Pundit said this. It says, in an interview with Benny Johnson, former Representative Madison Cawthorn claimed that the government is employing honeypot operations to gain leverage over politicians. It says Cawthorn's allegations suggest a shadowy operation within the government, wherein attractive individuals are used to entice and compromise public officials. It says during the interview, Cawthorn described scenarios in which extraordinarily attractive individuals, whom he referred to as 10s, as in you're a 10 out of 10, would appear in unexpected places and show a strong interest in politicians. He suggested that such operations are orchestrated by government agencies within our own government to maintain control over members of Congress. Now, let me show you what he says exactly in that interview. Watch.
And then all of a sudden, they're very interested in you.
Yeah.
Just know that that person is probably there on purpose, and they're very good at their job, and they are trying to put you in a compromising position. And so...
Honeypot.
Yep, honeypot. I have found that the most common thing in Washington that is used to blackmail you for, and I can't, with whatever organization it's from, within our own government, is honeypots.
Within our own government.
Something else. We recently saw, of course, the James O'Keefe undercover video, but there was another recent story that he points to. An underground sex ring was uncovered in Washington, operating in a few different states, and the claims around it seem to align with this. Now, let me show you. This is Daily Mail. It says, intelligence experts are becoming increasingly convinced that 6 high-end brothels in the suburbs of Boston and Washington, D.C. were set up by a foreign nation as an espionage honey trap. And it says they believe the brothels, allegedly masterminded by a 41-year-old South Korean woman, targeted politicians, high-ranking government officials, and defense contractors. But it says the mystery in which countries behind the scheme, they're saying it could be Russia, China, Korea itself, or even Israel, are all seen as possibly being behind the scheme. Maybe it's all of them, they're suggesting. Now they say this, having the Koreans out front could have been a false flag to give China or another country plausible deniability. If the plot was unraveled, a one-time CIA senior operations officer told Daily Mail in an exclusive interview. In other words, they're saying even though this high-end brothel targeting politicians, contractors, and so on is their main client base, it was mainly Koreans that might have been the front in order to hide the real country that was running the operation. Now, there are actually many more warnings over blackmail being raised. In fact, Representative Tim Burchett recently claimed that honeypots were being used in Washington, echoing what we're seeing in other places, with some of these acts being secretly recorded. And then these recordings of these acts being carried out are used as leverage to control elected leaders. In other words, they're losing their independence because they're being blackmailed. And the people blackmailing them are controlling them for either foreign purposes or through some weird shadowy state within our own government. Now, I'll be going more in depth into this as well as the other attempts to extort and control key people, including notably Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, only though on Epoch TV. So for those of you on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, make sure to join us on Epoch TV, EpochTV.com for the rest of this episode. Link is in the description and in the live chat, so come join us there. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Experts agree. One of the best ways to protect against financial uncertainty is to diversify your portfolio. Learn how physical gold and silver can secure your retirement funds from today's economic challenges. With a gold IRA from American Hartford Gold, you can safeguard your wealth with no penalties or taxes when you transfer your current qualifying retirement accounts. Call now and our precious metals specialists will send you a free information kit, no cost or obligation. American Hartford Gold, a trusted industry leader with an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, has a 5-star rating from thousands of happy clients. Whether you are getting physical precious metals in a gold IRA or delivered to your doorstep, we offer only the highest quality gold and silver. For your peace of mind, we also offer a no-fee buyback commitment, a low price guarantee, along with free shipping and free insurance. So don't wait. Call the number on your screen today and secure your financial future.